The signal the monitoring station at the edge of Earth's solar system picked up the signal at 0300 hours. Lieutenant James Ross was halfway through his coffee when the computer started screaming. He dropped his cup and ran to the console. Static filled the speakers. Then, through the noise, a voice. Double quotes, ... please ... anyone. We are dying. Please help us. James felt his blood run cold. He'd worked at the station for 6 years and never heard anything like this. The voice was broken, desperate, and clearly not human. This is the people of Krillon. The Vrak are destroying our world. We are farmers, teachers. We have no weapons, ... please. If anyone can hear this, help us ... The signal died. James recorded everything and sent it straight to Earth Command. Within 3 hours, the United Earth Council called an emergency meeting. The council chamber in Geneva was packed. World leaders sat around the massive oval table, watching the recording play again and again. The aliens' desperate words echoed off the walls. They're 40 light years away, said President Cole from North America. That's a month of travel with our fastest ships. We can't just drop everything for strangers. They're dying. Commander Lisa Rowe stood up, her military uniform crisp and perfect. Does distance make their lives worth less? It's not about worth, argued Ambassador Park. It's about resources. We have problems here on Earth. Captain Tom Blake rose slowly from his seat. The 50-year-old veteran had scars on his face and gray in his hair. Everyone knew his story raiders had killed his wife and daughter 15 years ago. While he was away on Mars, no one had helped them. No one had answered their call. I've heard these words before, Tom said quietly. I heard my wife scream them into a communicator while men killed her. I was too far away to help, but we're not too far now. We have ships. We have weapons. We have a choice. The room fell silent. If we ignore this, Tom continued, what are we? What does that make humanity? Just another race that only cares about itself? Lisa nodded. We've spent 100 years building peace on Earth. We've explored the stars. We've grown strong. What's the point of all that strength if we don't use it to help those who can't help themselves? The debate lasted 6 hours. Some wanted to ignore the signal. Others wanted to send a small scout ship. A few suggested sending supplies, but no soldiers. Finally, Tom spoke again. I'll go. Give me 1 ship and volunteers. The rest of you can stay safe and comfortable. But I'm going. I'll go too, Lisa said immediately. Within minutes, dozens of military officers volunteered. The council voted. It was close 51 to 49, but humanity decided to help. Earth Command moved fast. They assembled 5 warships in secret. The flagship was called the Defiant, a powerful cruiser armed with railguns and plasma missiles. 4 smaller frigates would go with it. Captain Tom Blake took command. Lisa Rowe became his tactical officer. Chief Engineer Jack Stone volunteered to keep the ships running. And a young pilot named Mike Taylor signed up, even though he just turned 23. Why are you going, kid? Tom asked him during preparations. Mike shrugged. My grandma used to say that good people help when they can. I can fly a fighter better than anyone in my class. So I should go. Tom smiled. The boy reminded him of himself 30 years ago. The fleet prepared for departure. Weapons were loaded, engines tested, and supplies packed. 5,000 crew members said goodbye to their families. Some knew they might not return. 2 weeks into preparation, another signal arrived from Krillon. This one was worse. They're burning our cities. Killing everyone they find. Please hurry. The Vrak show no mercy. Our children are. The signal cut to static. Tom stood on the bridge of the Defiant, staring at the stars. His hands gripped the railing until his knuckles turned white. "Captain?" Lisa asked softly. "How long until we're ready?" Tom asked. 2 days, sir." "Make it 1. Those people don't have 2 days." Lisa nodded and left to push the engineers harder. Tom looked at the star charts. 40 light years. 1 month of travel. He just hoped they wouldn't arrive too late. Behind him, the crew worked with furious energy. Humanity was coming. And the Vrak Empire was about to learn what happened when you hurt the defenseless. Asterisk. First contact with Fury. The human fleet emerged from jump space near Krelon exactly 29 days after leaving Earth. What they saw made every person on every ship stop breathing. The planet was burning. Tom stood on the bridge of the Defiant, watching the main screen. 3 massive Vrak warships orbited Krelon, firing bright red beams down at the surface. Each beam created explosions that could be seen from space. Cities turned to ash. Forests became wastelands. "My God," Lisa whispered beside him. The Vrak ships were huge, easily 3 times the size of the Defiant. Their hulls were covered in black metal and sharp spikes. They looked like tools designed for one purpose: destruction. "Captain, I'm picking up smaller ships too," said the sensor officer. "Vrak fighters are hunting survivors on the surface." Tom watched a Vrak fighter chase a small Kree transport ship. The transport was unarmed, clearly carrying refugees. The Vrak fighter shot it down without hesitation. The transport exploded over a burning city. Something inside Tom broke. "All ships," he said into the fleet communicator, his voice deadly calm. "Attack pattern Delta. Target their weapons first. Show them what happens when they hurt people who can't fight back." "Sir, shouldn't we try to communicate first?" asked a young officer. Tom turned to look at him. "They're murdering civilians. Right now. In front of us. We can talk after we stop them." The Defiant's engines roared to life. The 4 frigates moved into formation. The human fleet charged. The Vrak didn't see them coming at first. Their sensors were focused on the planet below. When the first human railgun shots hit a Vrak warship's weapon batteries, the entire enemy fleet went on alert. "Unknown ships attacking." A Vrak officer screamed into his communicator. Where did they come from? Commander Voss sat in his command chair aboard the Vrak flagship destroyer. He was a large creature with gray skin and 4 arms. He'd conquered 12 worlds for the Vrak Empire. This was supposed to be easy. The Kree had no military, no weapons, nothing. Who dares? Voss roared. "Show me these fools." The screen showed him 5 small ships moving fast, weaving between his warships like insects. "They're tiny," Voss laughed. "Crush them." But the tiny ships hit hard. Mike Taylor flew his fighter straight at a Vrak weapons platform. His missiles struck the target perfectly. The platform exploded in a ball of fire. "Yeah!" Mike shouted. "That's for the transport ship you murdered." Lisa coordinated the fleet's attacks from the Defiant's tactical station. Frigate 2, target their engine section. Frigate 3, focus on their communications array. Make them blind and slow. The human ships moved with precision. They were smaller, yes, but faster and smarter. Every shot had a purpose. Every movement was calculated. Jack worked in the engine room, sweat pouring down his face. Rerouting power to forward shields. Give the captain everything he needs. The Defiant took hits from Vrak weapons, but the shields held. Tom piloted the ship personally, dodging the massive enemy beams with skill that came from 30 years of experience. A Vrak warship exploded as human plasma missiles tore through its reactor. Commander Voss stopped laughing. "What are these creatures?" He demanded. "Get me a communication line." The screen flickered, and Tom's face appeared. Voss saw a human for the first time, a scarred, angry human with fire in his eyes. "Who are you?" Voss demanded. This world belongs to the Vrak Empire. We're humans, Tom said coldly. And you're attacking people who couldn't defend themselves. Big mistake. Voss sneered. Humans? Never heard of you. You're fools. We've conquered 50 worlds with this fleet alone. Your tiny ships are no match. Tom cut him off. You've never fought us before. That's your problem, not ours. Another Vrak ship exploded behind Voss's flagship. The commander's confidence cracked. All ships, focus on the flagship. Lisa ordered. Concentrate fire. The 4 human frigates turned as one, unleashing everything they had. Railgun rounds punched through armor. EMP bombs shut down shield generators. Plasma missiles melted weapon batteries. Jack pushed the engines past their limits. Come on, baby, hold together. Mike and the other fighter pilots swarmed around the Vrak fleet like angry hornets, taking out their smaller guns and sensors. Tom maneuvered the Defiant between the Vrak ships and the planet below. Every time a Vrak weapon tried to fire at Krillin, a human ship blocked the shot. You want to hurt them? Tom said over the open channel. You have to go through us first. The Vrak had never seen this before. Most rescue forces ran from superior numbers. These humans fought with fury and precision, protecting their targets even while outnumbered. A second Vrak warship exploded. Then a third. The remaining ships started to retreat. No. Voss screamed. We outnumber them. Return and fight. But his fleet was already jumping away to regroup. They'd lost 3 warships in 20 minutes. The humans had lost nothing. Tom watched them go, breathing hard. Lisa, damage report. Shields at 40%. Minor hull damage. No casualties, she reported. We won, sir. The bridge crew cheered. But Tom didn't smile. He looked at the burning planet below. Take us down. Let's meet the people we came to save. The Defiant descended through smoke and ash. The landing zone was outside a damaged city where thousands of Kree had gathered. Tom walked down the landing ramp with Lisa and a security team. The Kree people watched them approach. They were small beings, barely 5 feet tall, with smooth blue skin and large, gentle eyes. They looked terrified. An elderly Kree stepped forward slowly. Her name was Tala, and she was one of their leaders. She looked at the armed humans, at their battle-scarred ship, at the weapons on their belts. Then Tala fell to her knees and wept. You came, she sobbed. You actually came. We didn't think. We didn't believe anyone would care about us. Tom walked to her and knelt down in the ash. He took off his helmet so she could see his face. We care, he said gently. And we're not leaving until you're safe. Asterisk humanity's promise. The human soldiers worked through the night. They didn't rest after the battle. They couldn't when they saw the destruction around them. Jack and his engineers moved from building to building, fixing power generators and water systems. The Kree watched in amazement as these warriors became builders. How do you know how to do this? A Kree engineer asked Jack. Jack smiled while connecting wires. On Earth, soldiers don't just break things. We fix them too. We build schools, repair hospitals, help people. That's what strength is for. Medical teams treated wounded Kree. The injuries were terrible burns, broken bones, families torn apart. Dr. Emma Wells worked for 18 hours straight, saving lives. Tom walked through the refugee camps, talking to survivors. A small Kree child approached him, barely 3 feet tall with scared eyes. Are you going to hurt us too? The child asked. Tom knelt down. No, we're here to protect you. That's a promise. Why? The child asked. You don't even know us. Because you needed help, Tom said simply. And we could give it. That's enough. Mike sat with a group of Cree children, showing them pictures of Earth. They laughed at images of dogs and cats, animals they'd never seen before. Your world looks beautiful, said a young Cree girl. So does yours, Mike replied, looking at the burned city. And it will be again. We'll help you rebuild. Lisa coordinated supply drops from the ships. Food, medicine, building materials, everything the Cree needed. The other human ships landed, and 5,000 crew members became a rescue force. For 3 days, there was peace. Hope began to grow. And the sensor screamed. Captain, the communications officer shouted. Multiple jump signatures. The Vrak are back. Tom ran to the bridge. The screens showed 10 Vrak warships emerging from jump space. Commander Voss had returned with reinforcements. All personnel, battle stations. Tom ordered, "Get those civilians into the shelters." On the surface, human soldiers rushed the Cree into underground bunkers. Tala grabbed Tom's arm. "You should leave," she said. "Save yourselves. You've done enough." Tom shook his head. "We don't abandon people. That's not who we are." The human fleet launched into orbit. 5 ships against 10. The odds were bad. Voss's voice crackled over the communication channel. "Humans, you embarrassed me. Now you die. Surrender or I destroy everything including the planet below." Tom's response was calm. "Come and try." The battle began with fury. Vrak warships fired massive energy beams. Human ships dodged and weaved, returning fire with railguns and missiles. Shields at 60%. Jack shouted from engineering. "I don't know how long we can hold." Lisa studied her tactical display. "Captain, I found something. The Vrak flagship has a weak point. The reactor core is exposed near the lower engine section." Tom understood immediately. "We'd have to get close. Very close. It's our only chance," Lisa said. Mike overheard on the fighter channel. "Sir, let me do it. I can fly a bomb right into that weak point." "Negative," Tom said firmly. "Too dangerous." "Captain, we're outnumbered," Mike argued. "Someone has to make the run. I'm the best pilot we have." Tom wanted to refuse, but he knew Mike was right. Still, sending a 23-year-old to his probable death felt wrong. "Sir," Mike said quietly, "you taught me that protecting others is what matters. Let me do this." Tom closed his eyes. "Do it, and come back alive." "That's an order." Mike's fighter launched from the Defiant. He carried a massive EMP bomb, big enough to shut down the flagship's entire power system. The Vrak filled the space with weapons fire. Mike flew like his life depended on it, because it did. He spun dove and rolled through a storm of death. Almost there. He shouted. A Vrak beam clipped his wing. The fighter shook but kept flying. Mike aimed for the exposed reactor core. "For the Cree," he yelled, and fired all his missiles. The fighter crashed into the flagship's engine section. Mike hit the ejection button at the last second. His escape pod shot away as the EMP bomb detonated. The explosion was beautiful and terrible. The Vrak flagship's lights died. Its engines failed. The massive ship began to drift, powerless. "Target destroyed," Lisa shouted. "Mike's escape pod is intact." Without their flagship, the remaining Vrak ships panicked. They jumped away into deep space, abandoning the fight. The humans had won. Tom retrieved Mike personally. The young pilot floated in space, grinning inside his helmet. "Did I do good, Captain?" Mike asked. Tom laughed with relief. "You did great, kid." The human fleet returned to Krelon as heroes. The cost had been heavy. 50 soldiers had died in the fighting, but thousands of Kree were saved. Tala stood with Tom near the graves of the fallen humans. How can we ever repay you? Tom looked at the freed people rebuilding their cities. Live, grow, teach your children that they're not alone in this universe. That's payment enough. Earth Command sent construction teams and defense platforms. Krelon would be protected. Word spread across the galaxy. Dozens of alien races heard the story humanity had traveled 40 light years to save strangers. They'd fought an empire, and new messages reached Earth. Some races wanted friendship. Others wanted protection from tyrants. Back on the Defiant, Tom stood on the bridge, looking at the stars. Lisa joined him. More calls for help are coming, she said. Tom nodded. Then we'll answer them. Every single one. Why? Lisa asked. We could just stay on Earth. Stay safe. Tom smiled. Because strength without compassion is just cruelty. And humanity is better than that. The Defiant's engines hummed to life, ready for the next journey. Somewhere in the galaxy, someone else was calling for help. And humanity was listening. Asterisk.